In this video, we're going to start with a process that we will be repeating over and over for a while, and what we're doing is building upon what we've seen already. So I'm just starting with a view of my blog to show you that all of these are previous videos, and we're starting to put in some charts, screenshots. This really is meant to represent a course of instruction that you can have access to for free. So everybody, please take advantage of Emniprofiledaytrading.wordpress.com, and you're going to benefit if you watch the videos in succession. Now, what we're beginning today is we're going to look at how we put all the time frames together and start selecting ideal trade setups. So to begin with, we've been looking a lot at how the value areas are setting up on the daily chart, and these are the 135-minute charts, a third of a day for the ES. And we've been talking for a while that we're in this value area here, but obviously the market has been stalling, and so it was just a matter of time that it would probe out of that to test the support down here to see either if it's going to go higher or if it needs to correct for a while. So we'll find out in the next few days. Again, I'm not about trying to forecast or predict, but we want to just have an idea of what the market's doing in the bigger context to have the optimum confidence for our trade location and the direction that we want to take advantage of when the setups occur. But as it was expected, the big day down Monday naturally would first look for the value area low of this 2 to 3 week sideways action here. So where do you think it went? Went right down to the value area low. But let's look at it a little closer up by going to the 135-minute time frame, and what we find is when it gapped down, it traded overnight based on news in Japan or whatever, supposedly, and we always just go back to the prior value from earlier periods. And we had an earlier range here where we had a value area high for a couple of days that came in right around this 977.75 level. And then we had several points of control for the 28th and the 29th and the 30th that were very close together here, and also actually the 24th. That were right here, 73.50, 74.25, and 75. That our low on Monday was 75.50. So always this is where you go when you're looking for a big sell-off like this and a termination point, and then possibly a place to start buying. You're not afraid to buy because you have confidence. You know that this is something that's very consistent and repetitive. So then the next question is, when we're aware of that, we come in the morning, we see the big gap down, and we've looked at our daily, and we know our long-term support resistance. How do you trade it? Well, we can start right off with say let's just begin to look at the 15-minute, and we know that area of 75.50 is a key number, and you know, anywhere between 73 to 76 is a really key level, and we're not far from it right here in the first half hour. We're down to 77.50. So knowing that we're just 2 points off support, we're not afraid to buy if there's an opportunity. Now right away in the second 15-minute period, you had a delta reversal here, so buyers were stepping in, and you know that sent it sideways for an hour and a half, and then you have your probe again. So you have a key value area low from the early morning. And when you're down here and you see they're hitting the bid, but not with a tremendous amount of enthusiasm as volume is diminishing, then you're looking at a possible buy right on that value area low. And in this case, it worked out quite well as the delta reversed on this bar. Now you would be seeing that in intra-bar. And we're going to go into that pretty soon when we start looking at smaller time frames and we're watching the bid and offer intra-bar. Otherwise, you're too far off the low here to just wait for a 15-minute bar. So that doesn't give you the opportunity unless you are on a smaller time frame as the delta was reversing intra-bar. But just for this broad overview, we're seeing that it was very narrow range at this point, and it didn't really take long if you were trading to realize that we were looking at a slow day in the middle of August, where sideways action occurred after all the real action occurred overnight. But even so, you can observe the volume and see that they're not ready to rally off of this low, as every time the volume which picks up just as the delta picks up on the buy side, the volume overall was very low on the rallies. So there was no enthusiastic buying really coming in. And at the low here, you didn't have a delta reversal. So as you saw, the subsequent highs up here were not really giving indication of threatening to break out and have a big short squeeze run up at all, because they were on negative delta here this entire period of trading. So that should have given you confidence to enter somewhere, as you saw that the sellers were gaining control after lunch here. So typically in the minis you have the morning big money selling. They go to lunch real early, like an hour and a half after the open it seems. But coming back after lunch, which is between 12:30 Central Time, you saw clearly that there was not an impulse for buyers to send this market up after the big down day. It was way below. The value area for the day was way above any of the trading. No, not even a feeble attempt to get back into value. So you look at the value area for the day, and you want that is building, developing during this day, and you want to sell as close as you can to the highs, obviously. So the value area high is where all these bars were closing, and therefore you had plenty of opportunity to participate in this late day sell-off. So that's how you would deal with that day. Now let's look a little closer at Tuesday's trade and see what we can find. Now as Tuesday opens up, as we've seen in so many other videos, we're looking at the value for the prior day, where it has created the value area high, the point of control at 79.50, and the value area low at 78.50. So going in, we get our understanding very quickly in the first half hour or hour how Tuesday is responding to Monday's trading. We don't know going in if it's going to be a higher open and then extending dramatically to the downside, or we don't know if it's going to find support somewhere, but we know our parameters of what the areas to look for and look at the behavior at those areas. So when we see it open up above the value and the point of control, especially for the last hour, we can look at that. It's all above that, and when it came down in the first actually after the first half hour, 45 minutes, that's exactly where it stopped, is at the upper value for the last hour, which was above this point of control, I'm sorry, this value area low for the entire day, which is 78.50. So basically it probed into this area, it probed below the value of control and to the value area low, held very strongly reversed here on very strong delta, and the volume picked up overall on the subsequent breakout bar. So we're looking at an up day now, and then we want to look at where to enter on the pullback when it comes back down to the value area high for the day, because it's above value already. After the first hour of trading, it broke out right after the initial balance of the first hour. So now we're looking for pullbacks, and we're going to, in the next video, we're going to look at a small time frame chart way down to the tick level to see how we can zero in on an opportunity here. But even on these 8-minute bars, I want you to see that this pullback occurred on positive delta. So even the 8-minute bar, this was a buy right here. But let's look the smaller time frame to see how we can fine tune it.